Hey everybody, it's Brad.
And I'm Claire.
We're the Big Family Homestead, and today we're talking about life stuff.
Yeah, lots of life stuff. Big choices.
So, as you know, Daddy's little girl is getting prepared to launch from the nest.
With the wings.
Spread your wings and fly.
Hopefully I don't break it on the way down and fall.
The wings?
Yeah, hopefully I don't break a wing on the way down.
I hope not too. That'd be an awkward way to start.
Yeah, just go.
I broke my wings at college.
Yeah.
So, as you guys know, we have been through the excruciatingly, unnecessarily painful process of trying to find the right place for Claire with the right courses, the right amount of the vibe, all of it.
You gotta get good vibes.
I'm a vibe guy.
I'm a vibe girl.
No. So we have been going to several different colleges all around, and the summation from the last visit was discouragement and overwhelmed, and I don't think this is going to work out. Was that what I'm reading?
Yeah, the last visit was pretty terrible. I mean, like he said, he used the word discouraging, and that, in my mind, was a discouragement, or it was like an understatement. Because we got home from that visit, and I was just like, well...
Well, and you know what? Pause just for a second. We're going to come back to that. But for those of you guys out there, this is one of those decisions that you don't want to get wrong if you can avoid it. Mm-hmm. This is one of those things in life where it can be pivotal.
Yeah, yeah.
And what you pick for a career and where you learn it are hugely important. Mm-hmm. The people that you surround yourself with are going to influence you. There's no such thing as it being creative in a vacuum. We all absolutely learn from the people that we like and admire and the situation you're in. So a college is a big choice.
Yeah, it's a huge choice, and that's... I know I've read a lot of the comments on our college videos in the past, and people have just been like, oh, well, she needs to look at this school, she needs to look at this school. And don't get me wrong, I appreciate your recommendations, but I've done so much research, and with the field I'm going into, it's got to be very, very specific, and so that's why it's tricky, and I appreciate your comments, but it's also very tricky to find... okay, this is exactly what I need for this field if I want to stay in this place, which I do want to be in Wisconsin.
And actually make money.
Yeah, so...
yeah. So,
yeah.
Discouragement, but then today...
Oh my gosh, today was a great day. We went to a college which shall not be named.
Like Voldemort. Don't talk about the college.
Yeah. And
just don't talk about it.
As soon as I got out of the car, it's like, this is different.
Yeah.
I mean, it was weird because the last place I was just kind of like, yeah, it feels kind of dirty. I mean, it's... It
did. It felt like it was kind of a weird, like somebody just dropped a couple nice buildings in the middle of a otherwise I don't want to be here kind of town.
Yeah. But driving through the town, it was super clean, super nice. It has a small town feel, even though it's not super small.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how I would describe it. And the college... super nice buildings. It has a very recent building, but that's not where I liked it. All the other buildings were just very organized, and I mean, I've already done the research on behind the scenes of, okay, this is the field I want to go into, and I did all of like the book work, but I went today to see, okay, do I like the facilities? Is this someplace where I could see myself realistically?
What are the dorms like? What are the people like?
Yeah.
Kind of just getting a feel for the people.
Yeah. I mean, the last college we went to, all the people just looked super depressed and angry and...
angst-ridden teens.
Yeah, they were angsty.
Yeah.
In this place, people were smiling, people were friendly, all the faculty were super helpful, and if you had any questions, they were like, we will go out of our way to help you, which is good because you're spending thousands of dollars to get an education, so that should be everywhere, but maybe that's just me.
Well, but to add to that, this particular college was cheaper than the other one.
Yeah.
By a couple $1,000s per semester.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I kind of went into it thinking, well, I mean, I can't give away too much or else you'll know what school
and
is.
then you know who you are. There's one guy out there that's going, if they slip up and say, I'm going to go visit her.
Yeah, so...
Don't do that. That'd be bad.
Let's just say they're very similar, and so I went in thinking, okay, well, there's a few differences. Money is a huge thing. If it's cheaper and you get the same quality or better of an education, absolutely, why would you not take that? Mm-hmm. And there was just a lot more pros than cons, and I felt overall it was a better school even though it was cheaper. And you think, you know, cheaper you get less.
Yeah, but it felt like a park when you got there.
Yeah.
Lots of trees, all of the buildings are interconnected, lots of shade, a lot of nice people. The buildings were clean and kept. I didn't see any trash anywhere. People were nice. Mm-hmm. And, I mean, things like meals are included.
Yeah,
it's kind of a big deal.
Yeah, I mean, most colleges have a meal plan, but their meal plan was super nice, and they had a lot of options for healthy eating, and so it's not just complete junk.
Yeah.
And they have, in their dorms, they have a mini fridge and a microwave, so if you want to do that, then you can. And there's also a kitchen in the floor that everybody kind of hangs out, and it's
a common area.
Yeah, it's a very nice kitchen, so I wouldn't have to eat at the cafeteria place all the time, which was super convenient. At the other school, the kitchen looked really sketchy.
Shady.
Yeah, it was shady at best.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So the good news, I think, is I think you've settled on this place.
Yeah.
Is that
yeah.
fair to say?
Yeah, I mean, with colleges, I don't know how familiar everyone is, but you have a deadline for when you should get your application in. And you can send your application in after, but you won't get priority. Mm-hmm. And so I had already sent my applications in to 2 places, both places that we had visited, because I went in thinking, okay, well, if I really like this place, then great. And if I don't, then we can keep looking. But, you know, I didn't want to not be able to go if I really loved it. And so I sent in my application, and in just a few weeks we'll know. But if I get accepted, I really want to go there. So.
Yeah. Well, and a lot of you may not know what she selected for a career at this point.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point.
They don't know. Because there are a lot of people suggesting, you know, oh, shoot, what's that? Hillsdale College, which I thought that's a great choice. It's just a little too far, a little too much money. Mm-hmm. And then there were other people that are like, why doesn't she go to a Christian school? And there were great suggestions, but it just wasn't the right fit.
Yeah.
Especially since they were way out of state, and you didn't want to be way out of state.
Yeah. I mean, can I tell them what I want to major in?
Yeah. Well, that's what I was trying to. Yeah. I was paving the road for you. Go.
Yeah. I want to major in elementary education, and I did a work experience at the high school when I was in public school last year. And I just absolutely loved it, fell in love with everything about it, and I realized that that's what I had been wanting to do.
And that was a whole year. It wasn't like, hey, I had an hour with kids and now poof.
Yeah, that was an entire year of me...
Going twice a week? 3 times a week?
Every day. I'd go every day. And it was weird because I kept fighting it. There were so many people that are like, Claire, you're a teacher. And I'm like, no, I'm not. I don't want to be a teacher. That would stink. I don't want to do it. I just, in my mind, that wasn't what I had wanted for me. But then the more I realized it, the more I'm like, well, it's not really what I want. And then the more I kept going and the more I just learned, I was like...
It's more what God wants.
Yeah, and then I realized, you know, wow, this is me, and I was fighting it, and that's why life was not...
Unhappy.
Yeah, and so... And the reason, that being said, with elementary education, that's why I don't want to go to a school out of state. 1, that would be really far. And 2,
employment options are not as ideal for somebody who's gone from out of state and has to test into state to get a job.
I mean, because when you get your degree, you have to take I don't remember what test it's called, but it's the teacher education test in that state, and then you get your license in that state.
Let's call it gymnastics.
Yeah,
you got to take your gymnastics test to teach elementary education.
But I really want to get my degree here because Wisconsin is
where she wants to be.
It's where I want to be. So
I just, here's the thing. All of that's awesome. I just hope that you don't get a child in your future class like me, because I I had some great teachers. I had some amazing teachers. And then I had teachers that, you know, when you're in that awkward 12-year-old age, 13, and you're trying to push the barriers and find out where those borders are, I'll just say that the teachers that were my teachers that were difficult subjects like science or math, they earned their money. Every penny. They earned their money in the class I was in.
That is why I'm doing elementary education, because like 13-year-olds, that goes into more of, you know, just general teaching in high school.
Well, the smells that come out of that room are challenging.
Oh yeah, 7th grade.
Sweaty boys. Ugh.
Yeah.
I didn't like me when I was that old.
It's like, heck, I didn't even like me when I was that old.
I wouldn't teach me. So things are progressing.
Yes, they're looking up. We're on the uphill roller coaster.
Well, okay. I didn't know where you're going with that. I was like, things are on the up. Like a roller coaster, which when you say a roller coaster, you kind of imply things are going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth.
Well, we're on the upscale. Let's just say that.
We're moving on up to the top, to a deluxe apartment in the sky. You have no idea what I'm talking about.
No, none at all.
It's a TV show. Look it up.
Okay.
Anyway, so we wanted to share that because last time you guys saw me kind of giving my vibe of the school that she did not really care for.
Yeah.
But we had the conversation after I had filmed that. Like, they were still doing part of the tour when our kids were getting a little antsy, so I was like, let's just get out of here. And I figured I'd, you know, grab the camera and give my first impressions. At that point, I didn't know what her opinion was.
Yeah.
So we were kind of feeling the same vibe in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
And just hadn't talked to each other yet.
I think the best word that would be used to describe that school is superficial.
Superficial? I would...
No, don't. What do you...
It's a family program. Family program. So I'm just glad that you now have peace about it, at least for now.
Mm-hmm. I mean, stuff changes, but right now it's a very good, solid possibility, hopefully, you know.
It's what you're moving toward.
Yes. I'm going to progress towards that, unless I get completely blindsided and turned upside down and 360 and...
And everybody hates penguins because of that.
Yeah, I mean, you know, penguins, they grab the guitar and they spin you around and they play tunes to make you all dizzy.
Well, it's something I learned when I was actually an itinerant farmer in lower Afghanistan. Well, it was part of the Army's program. It was a part where they actually, and I don't like to talk about this because in order to keep the population under control, the locals, they would allow certain poppies to be grown, and the Army had to actually help in terms of making sure that different rival warlords would come in and steal it, and then they would take the money and send that over to the bad guys. We were always just trying to help out the good bad guys. None of that's true.
Well, yeah.
None of it's true.
Dang it, I was
going to go with the penguins.
I was going to keep going.
Well, I could, but it's just sad. You just got to throw in a little salt to be like, huh? No, I did hear about that. They were doing something like that. So that's all baloney. Anyway.
Jeez.
Keep her moving.
Keep her moving.
That's a Wisconsinism. I drive truck.
I have fully embraced the Wisconsinite inside of me.
I drive truck. I don't drive a truck.
I drive truck.
I drive truck. And with that, thank a teacher.
I'm Claire.
Yeah, I'm Brad.
And you have a fantabulastical day.
Ooh.